Hello friends, welcome back to Full Bore Silver. Well, as Francis Hunt says, white metals matter, and so do white dogs. I got my dog a coin. I'm gonna do the show and tell here in a little bit, so stick around for that. But the dog deserves a coin too. He's a good boy. All right. Kind of a slow news day, a dearth of information out there. Markets are in the chop zone. Something interesting did come to my attention though. I've had a couple subscribers tell me that they have been automatically unsubscribed. So if you find that that's happened to you, it wasn't me. I don't control any of that. I don't know what's going on. You know, maybe we might just have to talk in code now. Or I'm just not going to be able to talk about market manipulation, the Epstein files, Oklahoma City bombing, 9/11, JFK, Vietnam War, the Federal Reserve, MK Ultra, Ted Kaczynski, Whitewater, the siege at Waco by Janet Reno. We're just not going to talk about any of that stuff anymore. Just kidding, we will. It's interesting, YouTube's parent company, Google, you've got Sergey Brin, one of the co-founders of Google. He, as recently as last Saturday, with that recent tranche of Epstein material released, it was revealed that he had taken several trips to Little St. James Island. And also, Epstein was actually one of Sergey Brin's financial advisors. Then you have Larry Page, who was CEO of Google from 2001 to 2011. And he used to have lunches and dinners with Epstein in New York City. So close association between YouTube's parent company, Google, and a small little fixer that resided both in New York City, a next door neighbor to our current commerce secretary, sold him the house for $10. Pretty nice to get a brownstone in Manhattan for $10. And you might have seen this latest stuff that came out after Thomas Massie pushing and pushing and pushing. They released Les Wexner as one of Epstein's co-conspirators. The guy basically controls Ohio. He's multi-billionaire, ex-lingerie salesman, very successful at selling ladies' lingerie, amongst other things. Possibly behind your boy Vivek Ramaswamy, a lot of connections there. We're gonna keep an eye on that. We're not gonna stop talking about it, sorry. But if you do find yourself unsubscribed, resubscribe. We wanna have you, we love you. Thank you so much to the subscribers, commenters. Let me know if you have any thoughts on this Epstein release. Seems a lot of people aren't talking about it. I don't see it mentioned on a lot of the channels. People just like to avoid uncomfortable topics, but there's a lot of us men in society who are not gonna let this go. This is disgusting, ridiculous what has been allowed to happen, and the fact that these people control industry and government worldwide. You've got the CEO of DP World, unfortunate name, based out of UAE. He has been implicated in sending child torture videos to Epstein. It was revealed last night. So this guy alone controls 10% of the world trade taking part between ports. I believe DP World operates over 40 ports worldwide. You're talking 70 million containers per year. This is one of the economic leaders of United Arab Emirates. This news is incredible. It affects world economics. It affects the Federal Reserve, our economy, our leaders, everything. So going to continue to monitor that. Andy Schectman was on last night, and he made a couple really good points talking about the irony of price drops in silver. It actually only increases the physical shortages because they get bought up. He said in 2025, Miles Franklin did $900 million worth of business. In January alone, they did $300 million worth of business. He said that last drop was the single largest one-day inflow into SLV, the JP Morgan controlled silver fund that is also used to short silver. Basically, that last drop was a transfer from retail to institutional buyers at a discount. So that's why they manipulate it, so they can accumulate. Rob Kintz had Aaron Day on about the whole Epstein Bitcoin connection. I saw a fascinating chart. Basically, for the last 5 or 6 years, Bitcoin mirrors exactly the tech software ETF. And I will attach that chart right now. Okay, so you see the chart. It's mimicry between these two charts. Supposedly, Bitcoin, digital gold, store of value, currency, I don't know what it is. I do know there are quite a few carryovers between Epstein's behavior, funding of MIT Media Lab. They call it the hijacking of Bitcoin, in fact. Go check out that Rob Kintz, Aaron Day interview. They really get into it. Aaron Day had a good quote. He said, "Where you find censorship, you'll find the truth," which, hey, maybe that's why I'm losing subscribers. Another bit of unfortunate news, we talked about Vizsla Mining down in Sinaloa state in Mexico. They had the 10 workers abducted. They found the bodies of the 10 workers. What Vizsla had been doing, it's come to light, was playing the extortion game with one of the two rival Sinaloa cartel factions, paying 200,000 peso a month or something to let them operate. And so there's a war now between two different factions of the Sinaloa cartel, and they need funds, they need to buy guns, they need to buy men, troops, whatever, to fight the other gang. They tried to up the extortion bounty racket against Vizsla. Vizsla balked, said, "No, we're not going to pay you that much. We'll pay you $250 a month," or something like that. And so they kidnapped the 10 workers and then demanded something like 10 million pesos per worker to return them, which is like 600K per guy. Vizsla balked. They're dead now. Vizsla is a mess. Vizsla is down 50% from highs. I had a fraction of a position. I had like 100 shares or something at like $4 a share. I've completely divested. I'm not going to invest in a company that's participating in an extortion racket. Let me know in the comments what you think about all this. I don't know what the answer is, but there is a lot of counterparty risk when investing in these mining companies in contentious political zones, shall we say. So let's get to that unboxing. I want you to see this coin. All right, this is one of the 2-ounce high gloss Royal Mint Tudor Beast coins, 2 ounces, 0.9999 pure silver. Absolutely gorgeous coin. I got it for my dog. You can see the resemblance with the coin. I will show you a close-up here of the coin and of the dog. Beautiful coin. I don't have any other 2-ounce silver. There's only one problem with the coin, and that is that on the opposite side of the coin, you have a certain king of a certain country who was best buddies with two renowned pedophiles, Jimmy Savile, Lord Montalban, also of the Kincora scandal in Belfast. So I don't know, maybe I can break out the grinder and grind that off. It'll probably increase the value of the coin, but maybe if this guy's arrested at some point, then the value of the coin will go up just as kind of a novelty piece. King Charles brags about his lineage to Vlad the Impaler, also known as Dracula from Romania. I'm not sure how a Romanian ended up as king of UK. He's an interesting guy. He's really he's big on climate change, green energy, in between trips on the royal jet. I'm going to focus on the beautiful beast of Tudor, the greyhound, on the other side of the coin, and just celebrate and enjoy that and give it to my little furry son. So thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate all my subscribers and commenters. Please like, subscribe, share, and have a fantastic Tuesday.